Hello, 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 hello. So, today we will be doing the first tarot readings for the new year. And as part of that, I have this fluorite wand, which I'm going to be using to just gently brush your energy and going to be pointing at you to fill you with positive energy. The decks that I'm going to use this month, I'm going to use my TaroT deck, and then I'm also going to use some other Art Nouveau style decks, the Art Nouveau Lenormand, and my astrological oracle cards. And to go along, grab my lighter, sorry, to go along with the purification, we're going to be starting a new year. So anything that you want to leave behind in 2020, just direct it toward the flame. Let's do some breathing together. Breathe in and hold and release, and just release everything that you've been holding on to that you want to let go of. And breathe in and hold and release. Breathe in and hold and release. Great. Great job. Great job. Great job. Great job. Great job. I have this stick of frankincense. Also, I love frankincense. I'm just gonna blow a little bit of this smoke all over you. And if there's anything else, I'll give you one more chance since we're starting a new year. If you have resolutions that you'd like to make, anything that you'd like to leave behind, just focus your intention and release any negative energy into the candle. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great job. Great job. Great job. Great job. Great job. Great job. All right, Taurus. Let's start setting the stage for your reading. So, I'm going to lay out these planetary cards and these astrological signs. And I'm going to start out with Taurus in the first house and the sun over there next to Taurus. And this will just be setting the stage for your tarot reading. And then once I start pulling cards, I'll be able to tie it all together. Okay, so Taurus in the first house, Capricorn in the second, Libra in the third, Aries in the fourth, Sagittarius in the fifth, Pisces in the sixth, Gemini in the seventh, Leo in the eighth, Cancer in the ninth, Aquarius in the 10th, Scorpio in the 11th, and Virgo in your 12th house. Alright, and then shuffle these planets and lay them throughout the reading as well. We've got now Mars over here by Capricorn and Libra, the Moon by Libra and Aries. We have Mercury by Aries and Sagittarius, Jupiter kind of covering the corner with Sagittarius, Pisces, and Gemini. Saturn up here with Gemini, Leo, and a little bit of Cancer. Neptune by Cancer and Aquarius. Pluto by Scorpio and Aquarius. Uranus by Virgo and Scorpio. Let's see, I kind of lay these out. Okay, and then this Venus is going to go over here by Gemini and Leo and Pisces. So they're all kind of spread out. But again, this is going to make more sense when I get the tarot cards involved. And I do have a Lenormand deck for clarification, but I didn't use it in Aries reading, so I might not need it. that's part of it too. If you don't need more cards to clarify a situation, then you could just confuse things. So, this is you. Your circumstances, past, current, future, goal or destiny, your state of affairs, how it looks from the outside, hopes and fears, and the final outcome. Alright, Taurus, let's get started. So, what's going on in your current state of affairs? We have the Nine of Cups. Spectacular. That's what I like to see right off the bat. We have the Nine of Cups, and it's crossed by the Death card. I apologize, my printer just sneezed. Death is a total transformation. So it's possible that your happiness stems from having gone through a complete and total transformation. And that now you're at a place in your life where things are very good and you are experiencing your wish fulfillment. Let's look here at the past. And this is over by Mars and Capricorn in the second house. We have this Page of Pentacles. So Taurus is earth energy. This could represent you in a place of career. This could also represent you just at a particular point in your life, because you are an earth sign. But the Page of Pentacles can also be specifically about your work and career and having started a new job in the past. And it's over here by Mars and Capricorn. It's also over here by Sun and Taurus, but I did that on purpose so that this would refer to Sun and rising Taurus specifically, and that your first house would be the house of beginnings and your past would be overlapping that. Mars in Capricorn. So Capricorn is about utilizing the energy and resources around you, and having Mars, which is a very bellicose, very aggressive energy in the second house, which is Taurus's native. It's the house of possessions, and this Page of Pentacles here is touching that energy. So this could definitely be a situation in which there was an aggressive need to harness these resources around you that sometimes met with opposition from others. There might have been some conflict involved. Whether or not, because Taurus is a very kind of warm, nurturing earth energy, not very much aligned with like a very active energy. It could be that you were just met with this opposition and it wasn't you being the aggressor in the situation. But it's possible that you were being proactive about things. Let's look at the current state of affairs. So this is the objective truth of the situation. Over here we have your perspective, and over here we have the outside perspective. So here in the current state we have the Hermit in the reverse. I think you're done with that self-evaluation process and you're ready to move into your power and your growth. But let's find out more about that, and I'll read all of these cards together. Your perspective. We have the Three of Cups in the reverse. Now this could be about a very tight-knit friend group, and you could feel a bit abandoned by your friends. It could be Three of Cups is kind of a card about polyamorous situations, and if it's in the reverse, there could be jealousy, or there could be things going on that are making you uncomfortable in a romantic sense in that situation. But it could also be about feeling like you've been betrayed or abandoned by a close-knit group of friends. And then we also have the Ten of Cups over here in the outside perspective, looking in. So let's look at all of these cards together. So now this Three of Cups is also touching on this Mars and Capricorn situation. It could be that when you came into this job, you had a lot of support within that particular position, and now you're not feeling that. Or it could be that you had support at home that you're not feeling right now. But this is definitely about a work-related situation. Capricorn energy is very career-related, and it's in the second house of possessions. So this is more about money and finance. We have here in the truth, the current state of affairs, we have that this is Virgo's card, the Hermit, and it's in the reverse. There could be some delusion there as well. And it's here, Mercury in Aries, and then the Moon in Libra and Aries, and Mercury in Aries, and also touching the Sagittarius card. So what you have there is an intellectual energy, also a very ambiguous energy as far as gender. Mercury is a gender ambiguous person and planet. And Aries is about beginnings, can be about early childhood, and is the energy of starting things as well. Sagittarius is all the things you do to elevate yourself. So altogether, this touching this Hermit card in reverse, I keep wanting to call it Virgo card. The Virgo card, the analytical mind. So, it could also be in the reverse because you are heading into this energy, or that this energy is going to be relevant to you very soon. Let's talk about Moon over here by Libra and Aries. So the Moon energy is, it's emotional energies. It has to do with excuse me, now I'm sneezing. I wonder if I caught something from my printer. I hope not. Can also be about hidden things. And Libra is all about parity. So Moon in Libra is evaluating all of these things that are hidden or that are emotionally clouded, or could possibly even be involved in artistic endeavors. But what we're looking at right now, when it's like Moon and Leo, for example, that would be much more tied to artistic endeavors. But here we're looking at parity, not just between you and other people, but what is your standing in certain situations. And so that is an evaluative energy. And I might pull some clarifiers on that. Let's get through the rest of this reading and then I'll come back to this card. So I'll turn it sideways as a reminder, because I want to find out why I want to find out why it's in the reverse. Here we have the Ten of Cups in the reverse. Now, the Ten of Cups is always a good card. It's always positive. But it could be that people feel like there's something held back, something not quite fully realized. The Ten of Cups is emotional fulfillment, and it's a completion of a cycle, right? So over here we have the Three of Cups in the reverse, and then the outside perspective is of the Ten of Cups in reverse. Do you see the difference? Over here by this Ten of Cups, we have Jupiter, which is a wealth and expansion energy. It's also touching Sagittarius. Now, Jupiter is native to Sagittarius, okay? Jupiter's also here touching Pisces. Pisces is a watery energy. It's an energy of endings and also of psychic energy, or psychic understanding and ability. So to have the Ten of Cups over here makes a lot of sense. This is definitely like all of this together definitely makes this Ten of Cups energy. And I think it's really your perspective on whatever this current situation is for you in your close-knit friend group, or if you are dating multiple people at once and there's some kind of lack of fulfillment there. It could be a perspective issue, and so it'll be very interesting to look into this this Hermit reversed. Here in the future's touching Venus in Gemini, and then also Jupiter and Pisces are kind of touching the Venus card, and Saturn and Leo is up here as well, and that's going to be this is going to be your 7th house of relationships, is going to be this Gemini card over here, and Venus is touching that. So that's a very good energy to have as far as romantic and close bonds are concerned. Taurus, we have your card coming out. The Hierophant is your card. This is somebody who is a spiritual leader. So they have to answer to God. They also have to answer to the opinions about spirituality that exist within organized religion, which is what we call dogma. Now, it does make a lot more sense then that this Hermit card would be in the reverse here, because there's not a lot of room for spiritual enlightenment within the hierarchy of a religious organization. that is more involved with the leading of others and less about the independent growth of the self. Taurus is a fixed earth energy, and Virgo is mutable earth energy. And Taurus is associated with Venus, so yes, the Hierophant is over here also calling out this Venus card. Now, we have Venus and Gemini. There's a duality there. There's also a communication aspect to that and an air sign energy. It's possible that you have Gemini in your chart. And then also touching Saturn. Saturn is about endings. It's about the ever progression of time, concretion, establishment, anything that is very long term and very stable. It's that kind of an energy, but it takes a long time to develop. And that is touching Leo, which Leo is not very aligned with that kind of Saturn energy. Leo is more about creativity, romance, childhood, childbearing, all of those things. Let's look at your hopes and fears then, because that's right on top of those two cards. We have the Six of Swords. This could be not wanting to leave somewhere, not wanting to have to pick up and move. It could also be a fear about not having the freedom to leave. The Six of Swords can be a card of exile. It's not so much a card of retreat. It's a card of exile. It can also be a card of pilgrimage. So, again, we're seeing a little bit of tie-in between the Hermit in the reverse and the Six of Swords in the reverse. If this were talking about a pilgrimage that you would like to make but are unable to. And let's look over here. We've got Neptune over here by Cancer and Aquarius. And we've got Pluto over here by Aquarius and Scorpio. And Pluto is native to Scorpio. Now, Neptune is not native to Cancer, but they're both very watery energies. What do we have here in your goal or destiny position? It's the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. Now, the Eight of Pentacles is a job establishment card. It being over here in the reverse, this could be something that happens in the future, that you remain in this position long enough to obtain this level of career placement. But to me, because the card is in the reverse, another thing that could happen is that, especially because it's right here on top of Aquarius, which is in your 12th house in your 10th house of career, and Aquarius bringing in that energy of innovation and iconoclastic thinking. Here with Pluto, the planet of endings, and Neptune. Neptune is a very watery planet and brings in a lot of possibility. just through sheer murkiness of the waters. So, that being the case, there could be a situation coming up here where you end up in a completely different field. And that's the area in which you really reach your success. Let's look at your final outcome here. This is in Uranus in Virgo energy, which, again, I really am going to pull some cards for this Hermit in reverse. Iconoclastic, innovative thinking as it relates to that mutable earth energy of Virgo. I'm going to have to pull some clarifiers for this as well, because it is the Ten of Swords in the upright. This is your final outcome card. So definitely some kind of ending. And you can see this corpse is already fully bloated and deceased, and has been for some time, and this guy who is leaning over him is still stabbing him. That's crazy. Yeah, so let me shuffle these cards. And let's see what else we can find out. I love Art Nouveau so much. I have the Ethereal Visions deck too. I haven't bought the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot yet. And I don't have like the normal Art Nouveau Tarot. I have the Mucha Tarot. I'm debating getting the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot. But I just haven't justified it to myself yet. Let's call this one your first card. Alright, so 21 is the mountain. This is obstacles. There's some kind of obstacle. What kind of obstacle? The stork brings things. Brings things. That's why it brings babies. It can bring burdens. It can bring good things to you as well. Let's find out what the stork is bringing in. Something to do with an ending. So there's going to be an ending. I think it's that something gets brought in that brings an ending. And it creates obstacles. And that's why you're in this position of the Hermit in the reverse. And that's not going to be apparent to others. Remember, I have this card over here. That's the Ten of Cups. It's probably not going to be apparent to you either. We have this card over here. That's the Three of Cups in the reverse. It seems like it might be not necessarily sudden, but not expected. And this might not have to do with the ending of a job, but it might have to do with the ending of a certain situation that has to do with your job, or it could have to do with some other part of your situation that maybe you end up, because over here we were looking at this trip that you were thinking about taking, and everything's pretty good generally. Let's look at this Ten of Swords too. I have a gentleman. We have the bouquet, and we have a letter. So there's going to be an ending, possibly. This the bouquet can be a flirtation or it can be a gift. And the letter, of course, would be like some form of written message coming to you, whether it's an email correspondence, or it's not as much the energy of text messages, because that's also the birds, but it could be a text message if it were a lengthy sort of a text message. And the gentleman could be the person this is coming from. So this ending might not be a totally negative thing. It could be that you get a job offer in a different state, or some kind of offer that you receive through email or some kind of correspondence, and it takes you somewhere else. I do want to look at, finally, this Eight of Pentacles just a little bit. And find out more about that. We've got the moon. The moon is about work, can be about work, especially if you have a job that you're doing on a regular schedule for an employer, whereas like Fox is more like gig type jobs, or like if you're a hairdresser or a tarot reader where you have appointments with different people. This would be more like an established career that has a 9-to-5 office type setting. You have the cross. So the cross is about burdens. So it could be that the job is a burden. Let's find out. The final card is the heart. So it could be that your heart is really in this job, or it could be that your heart is really in this job. That's this Eight of Pentacles coming up. And then this other job maybe becomes a burden, whether it's the job that you have right now, or that there are other burdens associated with your life right now, that your job is not providing for you enough to make ends meet. But the good news is that you could be getting a new offer coming in very soon. Thank you. 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 Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like, share, subscribe, tell your friends. And until next time, I hope to see you again. very, very soon.